Hello and welcome to the Digital Arts Now vendor walkthrough. My name is Micah Turner. I am an information security analyst by practice and I work 40 hours a week, meaning that Digital Arts Now is actually a side project for me. When I heard that the Reno Punk Rock Flea Market was going to be all virtual this year, I thought it was a great opportunity to collaborate with some of my friends to provide a space for artists to vend for free and also raise money for the generator, which is an incredible nonprofit and one of my favorite build spaces. So, what are my intentions for Digital Arts Now? I want to give artists an affordable platform for growth and monetizing their passion while supporting local art-based nonprofits like the Holland Project, Sierra Arts, Art Town, Art Tech, just to name a few. There are so many worthy causes, even in Northern Nevada, that we could be spending all year raising money just for this area. That being said, Digital Arts now functions as a unified platform for selling original artworks, print on demand merchandise, and fan subscriptions. This is really a way for artists who are new to selling, new to print on demand, um, an opportunity to show their work for a very low cost and support a worthwhile cause at the same time at no cost to them. So without much further ado, let's launch to the demo. If you're a vendor and you want to get started with digital arts now, this is what you do. First, you go to digitalartsnow.com. This is the main page of the website. You can see that some of these areas haven't populated yet. As soon as we have new vendors in this space, I'll add them to our featured products area. And then down here at the bottom, you can see that the top rated products have also not propagated yet because there are no products with ratings yet. That'll change as soon as we have some real vendors. What you would do from here as a vendor is go to sign up in this top right hand corner. On the sign up page, you have the option to sign up as a customer or as a vendor. Now, if you're watching this video, I'd hope that you're going to be a vendor. What you'll do is you'll enter in your email address, your password, your name, and the name of your store. If somebody was naming their store, I would hope that they had a more creative name than Test2. So this is what I use just so that this permalink doesn't get used up by any legitimate artist. Then you add in your phone number. This will be used for confirmations. And finally, you indicate that you have read and understand the terms and conditions. Just like every website, it's very important that you understand the terms and conditions before you agree. Now that you've done that, you can select your vendor package. For now, I'm going to select the free vendor account so I can show you how to upgrade for free using the voucher code. Okay, here I am. I'm all set. I'm ready to register. When I click register, what's going to happen is everything on the back end of my website is going to receive that new request, sign them up for a vendor account, and then send me an email. This process usually takes about 30 seconds, and so I may cut the video right here so that we're not hanging around in dead space waiting for this to happen. Okay, we're back. You can see here that I received an email from Digital Arts Now support. This is basically telling me that the account has been created and uh, that I can now go to my account to log in. So I'll do that. Here it's just telling me that I can go to my dashboard and what I can do there. Let's check it out. Okay, we can see that it is pretty blank at this point, but we know now that there is going to be this little snapshot of your orders, what that looks like, as well as announcements that come up from Dan. Well, this is all well and good, but I need to set up my store a little bit more before we get started. Now, to do that, you can use the wizard that comes up when you upgrade your subscription, or you can do it manually by going to the settings tab in your dashboard. All right, in the dashboard, you go all the way down to settings. It's right by the bottom. This is where you'll be able to configure the information for your store. You'll need a banner, a profile picture, as well as some basic information. So let's get started. I'm going to upload the banner. Here, the title will automatically generate as the name of your file. Don't forget to add an alt text just for the differently abled. This banner was originally designed for Facebook, so it's a slightly different dimension than the Digital Arts Now store banner. Luckily, it allows us to crop the image from inside this graphic user interface. All right, the banner is up. Next, we'll upload a profile picture. For this, I will choose the round logo. Make sure you get that alt text and select. Because this is already the correct proportions, it's not necessary to crop it. So saying crop now, we'll just add it as is and give this little round figure. Uh, unless you have a storefront with a physical address, I recommend not filling out the street. You can fill out the town if you want, but mostly you need to enter the zip code. This zip code will act as an anchor for your shipping to calculate how much shipping will cost. And similarly, we just need to choose um, the country that we're in, and that would be the United States. And lastly, the state. So now we're set up to vend. There are a few more options though. I personally wouldn't recommend showing your address in the store. There is a contact uh, form in the store that you can use to have people email you without it exposing your email address to random people online. Also, we have this store opening closing time. This will default to closed every day. It'll basically be saying that you're not doing business right now until you set this up. I personally don't need this because I won't be operating my store in regular business hours. I'll just be taking orders as they come. And then lastly, you create a biography. Now, this is where I'm going to be pulling some information about you when I'm promoting you as a vendor on social media or to other vendors or friends. So make sure that you include a little bit about yourself, about your brand, the inspiration for your production, and why you're on the site. Then lastly, you can choose whether or not you want to enable support. The support button will go through Digital Arts Now, um, but it's just another way for people to open issue tickets for returns or for problems that they have with products or whatever. So once you're done with all of that, you just go to Update Settings, and your store will populate. And you can visit your store by going down to this bottom left-hand corner. This is the Visit Store button. Here you can see that name came from the registration, test 2, just like we expected it to be. No ratings found yet, but look at that. It automatically populated the profile picture, the banner, the name, and if I had products, they would be right here. So let's get started on uploading some products. That's probably the most important thing that I can show you right now. If you go to your dashboard, we'll be able to see some options for creating products. Here, the second option down is products. This will be where all of your products are stored. It'll give you some really basic information about them. But unfortunately, I haven't updated my subscription yet. Let's go ahead and do that. I can update my subscription. It's going to bring me down to the bottom right here. You see this option right above support. And for the sake of this demo, I'm going to start with the Digital Arts Now free vendor account. This will allow me to click through very quickly because it's free. It won't require me to add any payment information. Don't need to include too much information, but here it does include street address. That's because this is where it would be payable information. This is not going to be um, exposed to the internet. Okay, here we can place the order, automatically change my subscription mode to allow me to upload 20 products. All right, now when I go to my dashboard, it'll take me to this creation wizard. It says, welcome to your marketplace, and it'll guide you through some of those processes that we just did in the settings. See, here is the page information that we had said, as well as a customizable store products per page. I think 10 is reasonable here. So this setup wizard is really handling a few things that we didn't do on the store, one of which is the payment method. So all payments from Digital Arts Now will be paid out from PayPal, and it is going to be connected to the email address that you entered here. So very important that that is the email address where you'll be receiving payment from. Because we already did our store setup, there won't be too much in this wizard. So let's just go back to the store dashboard. But that's a basic walkthrough of what the setup wizard is like. Now that we have our subscription, we can go to products and we can start setting things up. Now, instead of saying that I can't upload products, it tells me that there's no products here. I should add a new one. So here, I'm going to say test fan subscription. So that'll be the kind of product that this is. I'm going to say that the price is $10. And then here is where we can schedule a sale. So I might say this is $5 and I would schedule it from next Thursday until the last Thursday of the month. Sales are a great way to generate interest in your products. There's also a separate mechanism that you can use called coupons, and we'll get into that in a bit. So here are some categories. These are very basic level. Anything that is not category level should be included in tags. So box. If I was making a subscription box, I might include a few tags. Just trying to let people know that they have what the project is going to be about besides the description. So you might think that this is very basic, maybe even too basic, but there's a good reason for that. So once you get some basic information filled out, you can see that there are basically two options. One is to create the product, and the other one is to create and add new. That means to publish it directly. I don't recommend that. Here, let's create the product, and then once we have it, we can go to edit it. And it should automatically bring us to the edit page for the product, and indeed it does. So here we see the test, and then this is one of the most important attributes here, the type. If we collect on this attribute, if we click on this type attribute, we can see that we have a few options here. A simple product means that there's only one configuration of that product. A variable product might be like merchandise, how it can have different kinds of sizes and colors of a given product. And group product is an item that might benefit or change based on the grouping of the products that are being bought together, followed by simple subscription and variable subscription. A simple subscription is what it sounds like. It's only one kind of payment method, only one kind of benefit. Variable subscriptions, you could charge more. That might include giving more or different kinds of features. For the sake of this demo, we're going to do a simple subscription just to see what kind of information populates. Now, if you're doing a physical box, then downloadable won't really apply to you. But if your subscription is behind the scenes, blog posts and videos or music, mock-ups, maquettes, then downloadable might be a good mechanism for you. When you hover over here, you'll see that there's another option called virtual. And in the explainer text, it just says that virtual products are intangible and aren't shipped. This is just to help you understand that this classification would mean that there's no shipping involved, to help your customers understand that there's no shipping involved. Downloadable means that they can actually download the product. So if you don't have anything for them to download, probably not a great option to pick. The subscription price we said here is $10, and that would be once a month, probably a good call. Whereas the sales price is another chance to edit it here. And when the subscription expires, if you want that functionality, and the sign up fee, if you want that functionality. There's also the free trial method. So some subscription services will give you an amount of days that are free before you pay for the subscription to try it out and see if you like. There is the short description and the long description. Um, we don't handle inventory management for you. This is an interface that would help you manage your inventory. The downloadable option. So if you have a downloadable option for this product, this might be like a congratulations, thank you for buying this, a link to some content or something. This would be where you add that file. Want to make sure that your tax and your shipping is appropriate if those attributes exist. You should always include tax. And if there is shipping involved, you should definitely do shipping. The reason that this doesn't have a pop down right here is because we choose this to be virtual. So if I take that off and we go back down, you can see now that it has shipping. So for the shipping class, the only one I have set up right now is regular. This is handled through USPS. I believe on supporting USPS, it's important that we make physical mail accessible as possible for people. But because this is a virtual product, it won't be shipped and therefore doesn't require that configuration. We come down to the bottom, we see that we have this RMA option. This is for returns and warranty. Right? It's really important that you know what these options are, you know what guarantees you're offering to your customer in regards to returns or warranties. If you want to override a default RMA, you click this button and add your own RMA. If not, you'll be using ours. All right. And here's where you enter the RMA policy. Lastly, you decide the status of your product, whether you want it to be visible, or for this case, because it's a test, I want it to be hidden. So now, enable product reviews. Of course, you want that. And you save your product. Now, when we go to our products tab, we'll see that this product has populated the space, and it'll have some really basic information about it. Let's go to products. Now we see that the product is here. It has how many times it's been viewed, what our expected earnings might be, and the name of the product, edit it, and so on. That is the basics of how to launch a original artwork or fan subscription. But there's one other kind of product that we can talk about, and that is from the launcher. There are some challenges when it comes to generating mockups for your products. Um, you might think about a mask or even something as simple as a mug, right? A mug is round, but the design for a mug would normally be square. So you can see in this mockup template for the mug that the actual mockup space is square rather than rounded to the reality of the product. And so it's really a representation of the product rather than the mockup that you would be sending to fulfill through Printful. Which brings us to the next step. If you have a connection to a manufacturer, a fulfillment operation, somebody that makes t-shirts, right? it is recommended that you would try to operate through them and fulfill the products through them. But if you don't have something like that set up and you want to use the Printful integration that I have on this website, that's where the product templates come into play. Once you have your mockup done and a customer has submitted an order for your product, there are a variety of ways that you can fulfill that product. But I have built in some templates that allow you to do that through the Digital Arts Now website. So if you click on the mug template called the Do-It-Yourself mug, it'll bring you to this Lumize design page integration. Now here you can go down to shapes, and this acts as kind of a design studio. You can drag and drop this clip art onto the scene and make, little miniature logos or designs or whatever. But mostly you'd be using your own images. And so one of the cool things about this product is that it'll allow you some flexibility. If we see how this loaded up, we can see that it doesn't exactly fit the template right. Luckily, we have this design studio functionality that allows us to drag, resize, crop to the template. This is about right there, maybe a little bit more. That's about how I wanted the product to look. All I need to do now is tell it to add to the cart. Basically, it's packing the information together so that it can present the information to the print-on-demand fulfillment center. That's handled by Printful in my case. Printful will take the order and they will fulfill it for us. But there's one really important thing that we should note about this product at this point. It says that the product costs $10.95, but that doesn't include shipping. And shipping on Printful products can actually be quite expensive. So let's go to the checkout and see what this actually ends up being like. At this point, Lumice is packing together all the information and actually submitting it, getting it ready to be submitted to Printful as soon as it's purchased. It's kind of putting together a package of information that will allow Printful to know what product needs to be used and what template, what design are being purchased. All right. Here we're on the checkout page. You can see that we have $7 in shipping, bringing us to a total of $17.95. Now, if we go to proceed to checkout, you can see that we have two payment gateways. One is Stripe that will allow customers to use their credit cards. It's this bottom option, the Doken credit card Stripe, or you can use PayPal, which is an adaptive gateway. Either one of those will allow you to place the money. You only other really important thing to talk about here is that it'll default to your payment information that you set up when you started your account. And if you're shipping to a customer, you need to say ship to a different address. It'll use this to send to the customer that actually ordered the product. Once you have all that, basically you just hit place order, and then I'll get an order over on the Printful side. I will fulfill it and tell it to ship out. So those are the basics of what you can do with Digital Arts Now. Allows you again to create original products, subscription products, or merchandise products. Some of the mock-up technology is not where I want it to be yet. I am currently looking at different solutions for that problem, and uh, for now, we'll just have to work with what we have. Some closing thoughts. Merchandise has a very slim profit margin. People typically don't want to spend $20 on a mug, even if it's for charity, even if it's an artist they know. It is just very expensive for one piece. If they buy multiple products together, it can reduce that shipping burden. But just realize that for the most part, it's your digital products, your original works, and fan subscriptions that'll be earning you more profit. And lastly, there is documentation from the developers of Doken on how to upload products. Here, you'll be able to see a step-by-step guide, much like the one that I just did, on how to upload digital products to your store. I will include this in my wrap-up to the Reno Punk Rock Flea Market, and I will also include a link in the description of this video. So, besides that, all I have to say is that I am very excited about doing this event with Reno Punk Rock Flea Market and raising funds for the generator. They're a very worthwhile cause, and I look forward to working with them again in the future. One last thing I wanted to show you before we head out here is how to update your subscription. So if you look on my main account, uh, look at this store list, see some very talented vendors signing up right now. We'll also be able to find my account. Digital Arts Now, that's me. Let's go there. On the Digital Arts Now store page, if you scroll down a little bit, you can see that there is a discount code. And the discount code is Reno Punk Rock Flea Market 2021. If I copy this discount code and come over to my new vendor account, I can go down to my subscription. And in subscriptions, I'll be able to sign up for the 6-month premium vendor account. I go to switch plan right here. Then when it brings me to the checkout page, I can enter that promo code and it'll allow me to reduce the cost here. So come down here, have a coupon, click here to enter the code. I will paste the code in, say apply coupon. All right. When I come down here, it says that the original subtotal was 60, but that the coupon removed 60, meaning it's $0.00. Now I'll place the order and it'll upgrade my subscription. It's really just that easy. I'll make sure that Reno Punk Rock Flea Market organizers have this promo code and hopefully they'll send it out to you tonight. If not, then when you see this video, you'll know how to do it. And that's everything that I wanted to cover for today. If you stuck through this whole video, I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching, and let's do good.